contest. Here goes one back in the 90s. Allen Houston.
Yeah, I remember this one.
Come on, my God. I can do that.
Yeah.
Look, ain't nobody jumping around. What the hell?
I know. You're right.
Oh, and then this one. Let me go ahead and bounce it off the backboard and just go ahead and get. Come on.
I've seen some bad ones now. I agree with you on that.
That sounds like the worst ever.
But when they giving you all these chances, what's up, Matt? Matt say you in the house, sir.
Yes, sir. We back. Season's over. Well, not technically. Playoffs on Friday.
What y'all gonna do in the playoff? Don't act like you don't know. You know.
I'll be honest. I'm kind of afraid. Of course, the first round we get the last team that beat us bad.
Tom in the bill. What's up, Tom? Tom, I'm gonna try to see if I get up there Thursday night to see whatever the new movie is this week. I'm gonna try to come up there and holler at you.
Here you go, Coach.
Actually, Tom, I may be coming up for Wednesday or Thursday to go see Jackass.
Oh my God!
Yeah, this is the worst dunk contest last weekend, right? Come on, Barry. What you doing?
I got to head up by Friday to go see it, Tom, to go see Jackass. Since it's not in theaters, I guess on Friday. So.
Oh, you haven't seen it yet?
No.
Okay.
I ain't gonna watch it. I'm not gonna see it.
I love them, but it hasn't even been out for 3 weeks. So I was kind of trying to wait a little bit. But
it ain't gonna last that long. They're gonna take it off the big screen. You better get on in there.
Yeah, you gotta hurry up. And I'll just say this:
what's going on?
Beware. It's a lot that goes on in that stupid movie.
Tom said he's off Wednesday and Thursday anyway, traveling.
Real quick, we got 1 month till March Madness. We can start talking some college basketball here pretty soon, right?
We're gonna talk something tonight about Michigan.
True.
Yeah, we definitely got to talk about All-Star, man. I got a lot to say.
Yeah. Oh, come on. We're going to talk about it. We definitely going to talk about it. We're going to talk a little bit about a little bit of football. Not a lot, but a little bit.
Let me see. I had the topic. Oh, there you go right there. Yeah, this quarterback destination is going to be interesting.
What Travis said? Travis, roll the music. Let's roll. Oh, he ain't even on the ones or twos.
I forgot he was in there.
He left his post.
He left me in there. I didn't lost my my right to run the show. All of a sudden I ain't got no connection no more.
When Travis gets back, y'all will get started. I'm surprised his dad ain't here yet.
Oh Lord, yeah. I forgot all about this. Yeah, this was bad.
Go ahead and start, Travis. Run the music.
Play the clock. Oh, you already know what it is, man. Ooh and Jay, they coming through. Straight no chaser. Straight from the hip.
Straight from the hip, don't need no script, just need a microphone. My man Coach Boo gon' take you to the entertainment zone. They got the stats, the this and that to keep this show on point. And when we done, we have some fun and rock this funky joint. So if you will, sit back and chill, give us a chance to show ya. If one of y'all would like to call, we'll talk just like we know ya. We take control, then start the roll, and then there ain't no stopping. It's time to dip straight from the hip. Hey, yo, let's get it poppin'.
Welcome to Straight from the Hip. I'm your host, Coach Gerald Boo Mitchell, coming to you live once again from the Imperial Palace in Black Mania. With us tonight, making a triumphant return. Well, we'll talk about if it's triumphant or not, because the fact that he's here must mean it must not be that triumphant. Is the new basketball coach in the chocolate city of Washington, D.C., Mr. Irvin Insane in the Membrane Pain. What's going on, man?
Good to be back. What's up, Mr. Butler? Season's not quite over. We got our playoff game on Friday.
Yeah, they're gonna lose
next week.
They're gonna. What are y'all seeded? What seed are y'all?
5th and 4A.
5th. Okay. Well, that ain't bad. Sometimes that's a little sneaky place to be. Right down there, right around 4 or 5, 5 or 6, somewhere around in there, between 4 and 6. That's a little sneaky place.
Now, if we win, we play the number 1 seed, so that's going to be.
Yeah, but see, they might be looking past you. So that's what I'm saying. That's why that's that little sneaky place to be.
They better not. I'll tell you that.
All y'all got to do is just come out there and play. No turnovers, I mean, you know how that is. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we working.
So, anyway, folks, we have Travis on the 1s and 2s. He's in the background back there. Big J probably at track practice again. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to start with the NFL. I know the football season's over. We got a couple things we want to talk about because, as always in the NFL, there's always news going on in the NFL. They just – I think some of it's just stuff they do on purpose to generate news, like Aaron Rodgers posting a picture of his ex-girlfriend and talking about how much he misses her and all this other – I mean, just stuff. But anyway, we ain't going to talk about that. But we are going to talk about Aaron Rodgers, guys. Or we talking about quarterback destinations to begin with.
Okay.
Well, I mean, where do you think Aaron Rodgers is going to wind up?
I had to think about this one for a little bit.
He's from San Francisco now. San Francisco needs a quarterback. They already told Jimmy G he got to go.
And that's what I was thinking. I think if he leaves Green Bay, I think he's probably going to negotiate a 1 with a player option. Or I'm thinking basketball, probably 1 or 2 year deal. But I think San Francisco is the destination.
I don't know. The more I look at it, I think he might be staying put. I mean, he's done a bunch of talk and all that. If they find a way to be able to keep Devontae Adams there, I think Rodgers will stay there just so he can have the hookup with Devontae Adams.
And that's going to be tough.
Yeah, I mean, and they are very good together. And when you have that kind of chemistry with a quarterback or between a quarterback and a receiver, I don't think you leave that. I think you try to maintain that or keep that. So I think Aaron Rodgers has him on speed dial and says, "Hey man, the Falcons just offered me. What do you think about going to Atlanta?" And he said, "No, man, I ain't going to Atlanta." He said, "Okay, well, let me take them off my list then."
Right.
Because I need you to be wherever I'm going.
And that'll be his best bet because that's his favorite receiver right now. And I can't think of a receiver out there that would probably be on the same wavelength as him at the moment.
Matt Calais says Devontae's headed for a franchise tag. He might be. I mean, I saw something on TV today where a guy was talking about how he fought to get rid of the franchise tags because he thinks it's unfair, and I would think it'd be unfair in a case like this with Devontae Adams because it's just a way for them to, keep him on the chain gang,
right,
and not allow him to make what he's worth and all that if he were a free agent and could go somewhere. So I heard also the big tackle in Kansas City, Brown. They talking about putting him used to be over here at Peachtree Ridge High School. They talking about putting him on franchise tag too and franchising him because they don't want him to get away because he is one of the best left tackles in the game.
And they gave up entirely too much to Baltimore for him.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, they got to hold on to him now. They look stupid if they don't.
Yeah, 100%.
What do you think about Russell Wilson? Will he stay in Seattle, number 1?
He's not staying in Seattle. The 2 places that I thought about was, and this is if they go with the deal, the Giants is 1. And I'm hearing a lot of buzz around here, but the the people in the pieces involved, I don't think will work it. But Washington is another.
I didn't hear that about him now.
They were talking about adding 3 players and 3 draft picks to get them over here. But the 3 players they named, 2 of them I can't see Washington parting with.
Interesting, because I've heard a bunch of talk about Russell Wilson, but most of what I'm hearing is one of his destination places was New Orleans.
That'd be a good fit, actually.
It'll be a good fit, but they said that at the time he made that declaration that that's where he wanted to go,
Sean Payton
was when Sean Payton was there.
Yeah.
And so without him there, they don't know if that means they said they deliberately kept most of that staff intact, kind of hired from within to try to see if they could get him there.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, they say that's one of the reasons why they did that, in order to try to keep him there. But, Russ obviously has a, I don't know that if he's in the top 5. I feel like I know he's definitely in the top 10 quarterbacks in the league.
Easily.
Whether or not he's in the top 5 or not, would take some analysis that I'm not prepared to go through right now. But definitely in the top 10. So, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who want him. And he should almost have his pick of where he wants to go. He might have to take his second or third choice, but depending upon how long he waits too.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting. What about Deshawn Watson?
Now with Watson, the 2 places I thought about was New Orleans and Miami. But with Flores going to Pittsburgh, why not Pittsburgh?
Well, first of all, is Deshaun going to be able to play this year? I don't know how you go from having 27 women accuse you of sexual misconduct, sitting out a year, and then walking on the field and playing. I mean, no prison time. How does that all go away? And if it does all go away, then it's something fishy about it anyway, which we've all suspected anyway.
And see, this is the crazy thing. This is what, month 12 now?
I guess.
And we haven't heard nothing?
See, that's what Mr. Butler's saying. Has Watson cleared his legal issues with the NFL?
He needs to clear his legal issues, just period.
I know, exactly. Bump the NFL.
Yeah.
These are lawsuits that have nothing to do with the NFL. This has to do with a man trying to get freaky with a woman in a massage parlor. And that ain't got nothing to do with the NFL.
Right.
So at the end of the day, if they're able to just make all that go away, that lets me know it's fabricated from the beginning. But I just hear all these trade rumors going on that have him, being traded or going somewhere, or somebody turning down a trade because, Houston's asking for too much. How you asking for too much? When you, I don't get that.
Right.
How are you asking for too much for a guy that might not even be able to play? And you got him out there asking for 3 first-round draft picks for him and stuff. That's insane to me.
And at this point, Houston just need to get whatever they can get.
Matt says there are only criminal no criminal charges, only civil cases have been lodged against him.
For me, it still don't matter. It's an issue.
Oh, it's definitely an issue. Oh, there ain't no doubt about it. And truth be told, it's an issue also pertaining to the way it's going to look to your team. To, women out there protesting and everything else. You got a man who's done stuff to 27, 28 women, and he's out there on your football team. All them high-powered female lawyers, Matt's an attorney himself.
Yeah.
They're going to be out there. What's the name with the dark hair? The lady with the black hair, the attorney, she's always out there for some female. Matt knows who I'm talking about. He'll put it in the chat here in a second.
I know you're talking
about. She'll be out there. Gloria, what's her name? Is it all red or whatever?
Is it all bright?
Oh, it's all red or something like that. But anyway, she'll be out there.
Yeah, she out there counting the money like now. Mm-hmm.
Travis said Watson had 9 civil cases outstanding in court. That sounds like maybe coming to a decision soon. Decision for what though? What's the decision gonna be?
Exactly.
Matt seems to think it's all about money, and that he'll be able to kind of buy himself out of it.
Sometimes you just got to pay the price and then live on your life.
Tom just provided his definition for NFL.
Hey, Pat Mahomes should have paid attention to that one. I tell you that right now.
Lawyers are looking for. I agree.
Exactly.
Of course, it'll be crazy. Now, don't get me wrong. That old man who started this shit in Houston, he got the money. I mean, he can obviously pay them off. I mean, if he got to shuffle, a couple million out to give everybody $1 million, I'm sure they'd be happy to take $1 million each. So if it costs $9 million, that's peanuts to him.
Basically,
yeah, that's it. All red. That's what I thought. Gloria, okay. All red. Yeah, she'll be all over that. That'll be another reason for her to get on TV. Let them let Deshawn Watson walk with no consequence, and let even the NFL not suspend him for a few games.
Right.
I mean, he better get something from the NFL. I don't know that I want Deshaun Watson with all that he's got behind him. I mean, I hope everybody ain't like me, but it'd be tough for me to hire him, sign him.
It sucks because that was the talk here for the longest. Hey, how much they want? What do they want? Make it clear. But could you imagine that frenzy with him, Snyder?
Oh, dude. Oh, no, yeah. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that dumbass nickname y'all got, too? Yeah.
Talk about that. They still the football team here.
Yeah. I would call them that. If I lived there, that's what I'd call them. Because the Commanders is just stupid. I mean, I don't know who made that. I would not wear any kind of paraphernalia with Commanders on it.
But see, even the wording on Washington football team was wrong. They should have said Washington's football team. Yeah. And maybe they would have took it a little bit differently. Instead of the Washington football team. And everybody just like, that's a dumb name.
I hear you. All right, let's talk about the last quarterback we're going to talk about is Jimmy G. And I'm going to tell you where I heard he's going to wind up.
Really?
You probably ain't going to like it, but I'm going to tell you.
I've heard that one first before I heard the Russell Wilson one.
Yeah.
But I think if Russell Wilson leaves, it's either Seattle or Tampa.
Yeah, I don't think it could be either one, really. I mean, I think they're looking for a quarterback who can come in and win right away, and I don't think that's Jimmy G. I heard he's coming to Washington. I heard a lot of people say that he's going to be Washington bound.
I heard that too, but I don't want to believe that.
Yeah, I'd like to believe that just so you can experience what I've had to go through for the last several years.
Hey,
having to put up with his sorry ass.
Jimmy G has the most Super Bowl rings of any quarterback in the league right now. So
probably
take that with a grain of salt because it was all behind Brady. But anyway.
I know, but I mean, the thing about it is everybody talks about how look at his record. I mean, I look at his record, but then I look at his play. I mean, does that not account for anything? Do you not see him overthrowing wide open receivers? I mean, even early in the game, I mean, it's horrible.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know how you can overlook that and just try to talk about his record. We all know that records lie. I mean, when we talk about when you look at Eli Manning winning the Super Bowl, guy, that he didn't have shit to do with that. I mean, he had a great defense. He had some good receivers. Exactly. He had a good run game, had a good offensive line. I mean, that's what won it for them. I mean, it's happening all over the NFL now. I mean, when you look at what's going on in Baltimore showing how you can win games with a mediocre quarterback. And he's mediocre. I mean, I like him. And he's creating a new way of winning when you talk about Lamar Jackson. But Lamar Jackson is not that guy. He's not. I mean, he's not going to be that guy. But, Harbaugh is a great coach, and he's doing a great job winning with him by just keeping him limited to doing things that he needs to do, having a good defense that keeps the other team off the field, and gets a lot of 3 and outs, and gives his offense more opportunities to let Lamar get out there in open space and do his thing. But Lamar Jackson is not the guy, and Jimmy G damn sure ain't no Lamar Jackson. I would rank Lamar Jackson way above Jimmy G, because Lamar Jackson can flat out do some things that not too many people can do.
Right.
When you got a quarterback that can outrun your entire defense, I mean, that's a big weapon, and that's Lamar Jackson. That is not Jimmy Garoppolo. So,
and last year showed that injuries do tell a role in what your performance will be on the field.
No doubt.
Lamar Jackson definitely couldn't carry that entire Baltimore team when your starting left tackle is out.
Right.
You're moving your right tackle to your left, and your right tackle wasn't necessarily good at that in the first place with Villanueva. You lose your top 4 corners, 2 of them being Pro Bowl guys.
Yeah.
You're starting safety. You're starting defensive tackle. Like, it was a mess last year. You lose your top 3 running backs. Like, that lets you know that Lamar Jackson is mortal.
I agree, and like I said, guys, it kind of lets you know how the NFL has changed to a large degree. It's not about just throwing balls down the field anymore. You see defenses are starting to adapt to that. Happened in the Super Bowl. Mahomes couldn't go down the field. Neither could Joe Burrow go down the field. Everybody just dropped back in the umbrella covered and like, no, throw the ball underneath, and we're going to rally to the ball. And so people make it more of a league of the league now. So, and you'll see a lot more of that. But in any event, all right, folks, that's all we got for football today. If y'all got questions or comments, put them in there. I'll read them and consider them, and then I'll pop them out to Irv, and we'll go from there. If y'all want to talk about a little bit more football, going to the NBA All-Star Weekend with this past weekend. First of all, let me say this. I'm not the guy. I don't like the Pro Bowl. You saw the Pro Bowl this year. They weren't even tackling people. Weren't even taking guys to the ground. Two-hand touch. And I'm not an NBA All-Star guy for the same reason. There's no defense. I mean, the final score winds up being like 189 to 186 or something stupid. Just damn near 200 points in a game. Because, they just kind of run at the guy with their hands up like this, acting like they're trying to block the shot. And then the guy just shoots and we'll talk about that in a few minutes anyway. But we're going to start by talking about the stuff that led up to the All-Star game. Okay. For instance, we had the celebrity basketball game. Let's start with that. My question, I put in the chat, the people watching haven't heard it, but who in the hell thought it was a good idea to put doggone Myles Garrett's big ass out there on that floor and have him out there dunking like a damn fool the whole game? Whose idea was that? Dude, I have never seen anything like that. First of all, I'm shocked his agent even let him go out there. The worst injuries you've ever seen in your life happen on a basketball court. When Joe goes out there and slips or lands funny or whatever, ACL, PCL, MCL, all CLs are gone in your knee when that happens on a basketball court. I mean, did you see what happened to Klay Thompson a couple years? I mean, dude, when it goes, it goes. And I can see if you're going to go out there and just, shoot threes and set shot or whatever. This man is damn windmill dunking. I mean,
he was serious.
Did you see him?
He was dead serious.
I mean, I'm serious. At first, I was kind of like, okay, first of all, this looks real stupid. And then when I saw him doing the dunks and stuff he was doing, I'm like, he got the dumbest agent in the world. I'm like, this man could seriously get out there and hurt himself doing this stuff. And I can't believe they had him out there doing all that.
Listen, if I'm the Cleveland Browns, the second I think he blocked somebody's shot and he was like, here's everybody else and here's him.
Exactly.
If I'm the Cleveland Browns, I'm like,
yeah, get your ass off that court.
Listen, I know he plays basketball in his free time. I know this is his second love. But isn't it in every NFL player's contract? If you're not training at the facility,
amen,
anything you do outside of that can void your contract.
Mm-hmm.
For me as a fan, I enjoyed every minute of it. But if I'm a Cleveland Browns fan, the first thing I'm saying is, what the heck is this man doing? But listen, the All-Star game was in Cleveland. They wanted to get as many Cleveland faces as possible to play in the game. Myles Garrett was one of the big guys that plays basketball in his free time. So, hey.
Like Irvin said, not only that, they have clauses in contracts where you can't go skydiving.
Nope.
You can't go snorkeling. You can't ride
motorcycles.
You can't do any of those kind of things. You can't be walking on some stilts. Because if you get hurt, your contract is voided. If they find out you were doing that and you got hurt while you were doing something like that, your contract, you get zero. So that's why I was shocked to see him not only out there. I understand if you want to be out there jogging up and down the court, playing somebody like they do in the All-Star game, just running out, putting your hand up, acting like you cover them or whatnot.
Nope, he was serious.
This fool was running the floor.
He was serious.
I think he was trying to get the dog on MVP.
Yeah, it was money
on he was playing for real. Out there blocking little women shots, little girl shots out there was shooting the ball. He out there blocking them.
Listen, and then on the bad part, this man is what, 6'6", 6'7"? Outside of the other young lady that plays in the WNBA, there ain't nobody else on the court that's over 6 feet tall. So he looks like me over top of my little nephew.
Yeah, Tom said he didn't know they had rules. It's not really rules, Tom. It's written into the contracts of each of the players.
And it's mostly the high-priced.
The high-priced players. Your quarterback, your left tackle, your lockdown corner, your best receiver, your deep threat wide receiver, your running back. It's only about 7 guys on the team, but they definitely have that written in to make sure that they don't do something stupid. And riding motorcycles is definitely one of them.
That's everybody's. Every sport, everybody. But that guy barely making the team on. That guy barely making the team on special teams. That ain't in his contract.
Yep, that's written into just about everybody as far as the motorcycles are concerned. Because some places that don't even make you wear headgear. Yeah. I know Texas and Florida are 2 places. I think California is another one where you don't have to have headgear when you ride a motorcycle. So they just took all that out. That's in your contract. Mm-hmm. You can't do that. But anyway, so okay, we talked about the All-Star game. It don't matter who won. It was and dude, the uniforms. Somebody please do something about them uniforms. That's just it's so. First of all, if I was Myles Garrett, it looked like he was out there in his pajamas. It was just they were bad. And give me a Rihanna out there. I know she's pregnant right now. It might be a bad one to say. But give me some of those, celebrities out there like that. Give me Beyonce or whoever the hottest singer is out there right now. Bring some of them out, let them play. Let's see them ball. And whoever that other clown was, he's a soccer player or something, running up and down the court, looking, he was good. He was good. White dude, soccer player.
And I watched it.
Dude, I think he wound up being the MVP. I'm telling you, that joker could play. He was for real. And had no business being out there on that court. It was clear to see he was on a whole nother level. And that joker running down, hitting layups, and sprinting back down the court. To block shots and then get the rebound and run back down the court again. They got that high octane anyway with all that soccer stuff, all that running.
I got 4 of them on my team, so I know.
Up and down the court.
I got 4 of them on my team, so I know.
Well, you know what I'm talking about. Man, it was crazy. So anyway, but like I said, it don't matter about who won. Okay, let's talk about the I don't even know who won the skills competition. Who won the skills competition? I ain't even watching.
Team Cleveland won the skills competition.
Oh, they do a team now. They don't do individual people.
It was 3 teams of 3. You had the the rookie team that had 3
Okay.
rookies.
Yeah.
They had the Antetokounmpo's brothers.
Oh man. Okay.
That was ugly.
It's all 3 of them.
It was 4 of them that's playing, but
Oh my
they had
God.
3 of them in there.
Wow.
That was ugly because can't none of them shoot.
I know that's right.
And then they had Team Cleveland. Team Cleveland was fun to watch. I was excited to watch Cleveland do it.
Who was Team Cleveland? LeBron and who else?
No, it was 3 young guys.
Okay.
Darius Garland, Josh Allen, and then another guy they just drafted this year.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I was excited to see that one.
And they were good at it.
You said what?
I said they were good at it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That was the most entertaining part.
Okay. And I've heard that lately that's kind of the best part of it to watch as far as All-Star Weekend.
Yeah, the skills competition is probably the best part of the weekend for me.
Yeah, that's what Travis just said. Travis said that was the best part to watch. I don't know.
I'm looking at what Tom said.
I was looking at what Tom. You know, Tom is off the chain. Tom will tell like it is. But okay. So then we talk about the 3-point contest, which is not really a 3-point contest. I mean, you don't have anybody in it, really. I mean,
well, listen, Steph Curry and Klay Thompson won it like 4 years in a row, so they were just like, let somebody else have a chance.
Yeah.
So,
and I agree. I don't mind it being somebody else. I mind it being somebody else when it's like the somebody else who won it this year.
So what they did was they took the highest 8 people with the best 3-point percentage and put them in, which was smart. But 3-point competition, the hardest place to be in a competition like that is the last person to shoot. You sitting there waiting for about 30, 45 minutes
no doubt.
for your turn to go, and
letting the pressure just build up.
And you just sitting there cold. You can't go to a back gym because you got to be out there supporting everybody else. You're just sitting there like, all right, why I got to go last? Or the first one, because if you go to the second round, you waiting. So, I mean, I enjoyed it because the final round only was separated by 3 points. But the first round was interesting, but the big man took it. Everybody said the big man will never win a 3-point competition. It's only been 2.
I'm glad he did. I mean, when you hear the backstory about his mother, and he had on a chain, which they normally don't let you wear chains, and they let him wear that one because it was commemorative for his mom. And his mom was apparently very well known in the NBA community, and the announcers spoke highly of her, and they said she was just a real sweet lady. And I like what he had to say. He said, when she was living, she couldn't always be with me.
Yeah.
Because, of her health problems and everything. He said, now she's always with me. She's with me everywhere I go. So now we're able to spend a whole lot more time together and do things together. And it touched me when he said that because, it's a unique way to look at it. But anyway, it was pretty neat what he did.
Yeah.
So I'm just not I don't know. I just ain't never really got into that 3-point thing. I mean, when you're a shooter, and that's what you do. I mean, that's your job. I mean, especially when nobody's. That'd be like me as a wide receiver, and then people just come out there watching me catch balls.
Well, that's different. and for even the Pro. Did you watch the Pro Bowl Skills Challenge?
No, I don't watch anything to do with the Pro Bowl.
Listen,
I mean nothing.
That might have been the most exciting thing they had on Pro Bowl weekend. So they had a skills event where the wide receivers had to do some type of outlandish thing to catch the football. So a lot of them was catching like 2 balls upside down, things like that. That was weird, jumping through the air. I think you probably would have liked it.
Clown show. Circus.
You got to do something different.
I know, but I mean, my whole thing is I would rather see guys out there running routes and quarterbacks trying to get them the ball and letting it be something like between the quarterback and the receiver, just like you said, the Antetokounmpo brothers or whatever. Give me something like that. Give me Brady and Antonio Brown versus Tyreek Hill and old boy Mahomes, and Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp. Give me something like that. I mean, that to me, I would watch that. I'd watch that.
It's like, so here's how I look at the 3-point competition, and we can agree to disagree. It's like saying who can catch the most one-hand catches.
Okay, I'll take that. But I mean, the thing about a one-hand catch is it's got to be worthy of a one-hand catch. You can't throw the ball and me catch it one hand like this in here on my chest. I want it to be away from my body, one hand.
Okay, well, I could say the same thing with the 3-point. So they incorporated a couple shots that's further away from the 3-point line.
Yeah,
not everybody can do it.
The 4-point shot.
Yeah,
I agree, and that's fine. I understand that, and I'll take that. But I mean, to me, that's Big Three basketball.
And that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, the big three kind of introduced that, and I get it, and I mean, I saw Sfth make a couple shots during the game that were, way out. I mean, like way out. And after he shot the ball, he just turned and walked away. He knew it.
He did about 5 times.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, and so I was able to see that on like the highlights and everything else. But anyway, let's go on ahead and move on and stop talking about that and talk about the dunk contest, because we might have to get Travis involved. I know Travis feeding his baby right now, but I remember it was. I'm not a fan. Travis and I already talked about it, and I think Jason and I talked about it too. I'm not a fan these days of the slam dunk contest. I told you when they started making it where jokers can miss and then try over, and some of the bad stuff you showed me before this show started about that joke doing that cartwheel. There was a terrible cartwheel and then missing the dunk, or the one guy who missed the whole rim and everything. Dude, that's bad. I'm embarrassed for those people when I see that. That's why I don't like it.
So one rule that I think they need to bring back is you have 1 minute to finish your dunk. See, a lot of these
they still don't have that.
They took it out. So
I didn't know they didn't have. Oh my God! So you had to keep watching that?
I like that rule.
So
I like the 1 minute rule because that
one like 5 and 6 minutes long, and everybody's just like,
"Oh my God, I couldn't do that. That's awful."
Jalen Green was in there trying to dunk for 5 minutes, and he still couldn't dunk.
Yeah, that's
the crowd was literally booing.
Yeah, they definitely need to take that. They definitely need to put that back here. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Look, it's a video of Kareem walking out after his 4th attempt.
I was about to say it. The dunk contest was so bad that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar got up, grabbed his jacket, and said, "I'm leaving," and walked out of the dunk competition.
He took his NBA 75 jacket and said,
"That's terrible." Yeah, that's terrible. I'm with Kareem there, and I mean, good for him. Good for him, because they need to show. Anyway, they're talking about now how the NBA needs to incent these guys, the LeBron Jameses and the high profile players, to be part of the dunk contest like MJ used to be, and we know how the dunk contest used to be back in the day. I mean, the best dunkers in the league, Dominique Wilkins, those kind of Spud Webb, even back in the day when he did it. I mean, you had some of the best dunkers in the league. Now you got a bunch of journeymen, no-namers, rookies, and all those kind of guys out there trying to win the contest, and it's just not the same. I mean, it's nowhere near. It doesn't even have the draw. I mean, I can remember how I would make my whole day on Saturday for the All-Star game be built around the dunk contest. It's like, okay, I'm telling y'all now, I got to be home at 9 o'clock.
Right.
The dunk contest starts at 9:15. I got to be home at 9 o'clock. Like, I got to be like ready. I can't leave the TV for 30 minutes when that dunk contest comes on. I don't want anybody having to tell me about anything. I want to see it all. I want to see every dunk. And now I didn't even watch it. I mean, only things I saw was on Sports Center, a recap of the show, the news, whatever.
Mhm.
Those are the only things I saw. And I wish it could get back to having that excitement that it had back in the late 80s, early 90s, when I think it was probably at its peak in that era where you had Dominique Wilkins versus Michael Jordan versus Sean Kemp. I mean, you had some of the best dunkers in the league. Vince, what's Vince's last name? Vince Carter. You know what I'm talking about. Y'all know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know who I'm talking about. I mean, these whippersnappers around here have no
Rick
idea what I'm talking about. I'm just saying, guys, they had some of the best dunkers around. And now you got the Greek freak. If he wants to do that, let him come on and try to do that. I mean, let LeBron get out there. Let some of these, and don't get me wrong, there's a couple young guys out there that's got some hops like Toppin and some of those guys who can sky and who can do things, but just this dumb stuff doesn't even make any sense.
The problem, Coach, is that the guys that everyone wants, like LeBron and the Greek freak, they don't want to do it.
I know, because that's what we're saying.
It's not that the NBA is like, no, we want the younger guys. The stars don't want to do this, which back in the 80s and the 90s, the stars wanted to do this stuff.
Well, because it's more of a
make them do it.
It's really a no-win for some of these guys. I know. Because the bottom line is that at the end of the day, you give $1 million to the winner. Well, I'm making $12 million a year. Exactly. So, I mean, I go out here and lose in the dunk contest. That's actually going to make my stock go down. Exactly. That ain't going to help me. That might help this other guy who beats me or whatever the case may be, but it's not going to help me.
Yeah.
So, they're going to have to come up with some other kind of incentive or do something to make it where those guys want to compete again. So
but
no, go ahead. I'll
so the problem is three problems in my eyes. The one thing is when they took off the time limit, that ended everything for me. Secondly, they're putting too many, and for people that like myself that play basketball, they know it. They put too many in-game dunkers and not highlight dunkers in these competitions.
Amen.
So I give you an example.
Good observation.
When I was growing up, I heard about Joe Green in high school. And I knew about his 48-inch vertical, which was stupid at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking around in college and I'm seeing his highlight tapes doing all these outrageous things in the game. And I'm just like, oh my God, if he gets to the league, what can he do in the league? And when he got to the dunk contest in the league in the mid 2000s, we saw that. Blowing out the cupcake on top of the rim before dunking. Dunking with no shoes on. Sliding around, things like that. In the middle of a game, catching a windmill with his chin above the rim, doing the windmill, to the point where you get guys like, why I keep forgetting his name so far. Oh my goodness, the guy from Houston. He's an in-game dunker. He's not a highlight dunker.
Yeah.
When they put Cole Anthony in there, I've seen him before in North Carolina when he was in Florida. He's an in-game dunker. Obi Toppin, yes, he's a highlight dunker, but and then the guy from the Warriors, I was like,
I've never even heard of that guy.
Only reason I heard it because I watched a lot of G League games and he just came straight up from the G League. But in-game dunker. So when you put in-game dunkers in a competition, you already setting yourself up for failure. So my first thought process was, God, they didn't offer Ja Morant anything?
Exactly.
Oh my God. Yeah. That would have been nice.
Anthony Simons from the Portland Trailblazers. They didn't offer him anything?
Yeah.
What's another one that pops at the top of my head that's crazy? Oh my goodness. Kel from Charlotte. They didn't offer him anything?
I was gonna say the guy from Charlotte.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's 3 names that you can add on Obi Toppin that a lot of people may be more familiar with. That might spark the contest up. Like I remember when Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon came in, my first thought process was, yo, this dunk contest is going to be a problem. But a lot of people that were my friends that don't really watch basketball, they was like, man, I never heard of this guy. I'm like, all right, watch this competition.
Mm-hmm.
You're going
To me, that's the best dunk contest I've ever seen. That one right there.
Blown away.
I watched the highlights today. The highlights today. That was the greatest dunk contest I've ever seen.
And the
it's the one you've ever seen because you wasn't around when Jordan was doing his thing.
I understand. I understand. I'm just saying what for me. Yeah.
I'm trying to remember the other person that was in that contest with him. He had outrageous dunks in that contest as well that we've never seen before.
Andre Drummond was in that one. And
there's one more guy. Oh my goodness.
There was one more guy. I don't remember who the other one was.
I know which one y'all talking about, but I can't remember who was in it.
And then there was another contest I looked up that had like JaVale McGee in it when he dunked with 3 basketballs. He dunked on 2 baskets.
Yeah.
Like the dunk contest is not bad. It's just you don't have any guys that's in the contest with a lot of creativity.
Yeah.
And that's the problem.
Yeah.
But for me, and I know Coach is coming, a lot of people are saying this is the worst dunk contest of all time.
I don't know about all time. I'm telling you, I didn't really see it. I did not watch it. But I'm telling you what I'm hearing when I am watching SportsCenter and watching clips of it. I'm hearing comments like that from people who suppose they're in the know. You know what I mean? It's like you said, Kareem, like, man, I'm out of here. I ain't watching. I mean, when I hear stuff like that, I mean, why would I not think it was the worst? Because, I mean, when somebody walks out on a dunk contest, I mean, dude, that's pretty embarrassing, especially when you have one of the top 25 players of all time walk out on a dunk contest. I mean, that to me is pretty rough. So
I don't know if you guys were listening to the commentary, but even the commentary, I don't know if it was Reggie Miller or Dwayne Wade because they were both on the commentating. And one of them, again, I don't remember which one it was, but one of them literally said, this is the worst dunk competition I've ever seen. And they were like, the fans are sitting on their hands. There's nothing going on. Even like when there's a dunk, the fans are just like, whatever. Because it wasn't even that good of a dunk. But, excuse me, it was at least a dunk. So one thing I watched, I don't remember who it was, if it was on FS1 or one of the ESPN shows, but one idea that one of these basketball heads had, which I thought was interesting, I don't know if it would work or not, but instead of having NBA players do the dunk competition now, because you can't get these stars to do it for whatever reason, there's not enough money for them to do it, and they don't want to do it, right? Hurt their reputation, worried about getting injured, whatever the case is. Do a nationwide regional dunk competition, and you get the top dunker from the Southeast region, the top dunker from the West, the top dunker from the Midwest, and you get
none in the Midwest
in the either the AAU or the and one circuit, and you bring them all in. You see who wins.
I'd rather see that. I think you get more creativity.
I agree.
You did it that way.
Now,
I'd rather see something like that.
The average fan isn't going to know who any of these dunkers are, right? But the average fan doesn't know who the guy who plays for Golden State is anyway.
I agree.
Right?
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna move on because we gotta talk real quick. We got about 12 minutes left, and we got quite a few things to talk about. First of all, let's talk about the All-Star game itself, which was kicked off by the national anthem.
Let us pray for Macy Gray.
I like Macy Gray.
I won't say nothing bad.
I am a Macy Gray fan. Let me say that first. Because I love her raspy voice and the songs that she does sing that I really like. Try to say goodbye, but I choke. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. I mean, listen, that's my song right there. And when I think of Macy Gray, I think of that. Unfortunately, now when I think of Macy Gray, I would think about one of the worst renditions of national anthem I've ever heard.
Oh my goodness!
Which I didn't hear until a couple days later because I told you I don't watch it, and everybody kept telling me I don't want to get on the internet and search and find it and whatnot. But I actually saw it.
You got
on
to
TV, and about a day or so later, and they weren't focusing on her; they were focusing on LeBron.
Now, the funny thing is, why is it when somebody messes up the anthem, the first thing they do is put the camera right in everybody's face to see their reaction? So you see the guys like,
it was, dude. I would be honest with you, it was funny though. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm a military guy, so I have a lot of respect for the national anthem, and we used to take our hat off and everything. You're on a military base, and they play it at 5:00 every day, and it blasts over a loudspeaker for the whole base to be able to hear it. And everybody has to stop their car. If you're in uniform, you're a soldier, you have to salute. They want men to take off their hats, all that kind of stuff. Fergie was worse. Yeah, Fergie was bad, Ray. Fergie did a bad job too. And there have been a lot of bad jobs with national anthem now. But I mean, good guy. Carl Lewis was another one that was just, it's painful for me to watch. I can't watch Carl Lewis do that. I mean, I can't watch that again. I can never watch that. That was painful watching that. Roseanne was terrible. Ain't no doubt, Roseanne was terrible. But this was bad. And Macy tried to hold it together. I mean, I don't know if she was a little tipsy, all those entertainers, they do something to get themselves right before they go out there and sing. And a lot of times they just out there just vibing with the crowd, and, they lose track of how many drinks they've had or whatever. And then they, I was at a show one time. What's his name? You sing Proud to Be an American. I'll say his name here in a second. And I was his bodyguard all that summer. Him and Reba McEntire and some other people backstage at this concert venue that they had. And he messed up singing the national anthem, Vanderbilt versus Tennessee. And he messed it up. And everybody told me, that's your boy. That's the dude Lee Greenwood. Thank you, Mr. Butler. He messed up the national anthem. And I was so embarrassed for him. Oh, I was. And like I said, and I mean, it was bad. So in any event, it's bad when it happens, and it was really bad from what I saw. If y'all haven't seen it, y'all have to Google it. I'm sure it's out there. I'm sure they'll have memes about it and everything else. And I'm sure most of the memes will probably involve LeBron James, because LeBron, he tried to fight it, but he couldn't. He couldn't fight it. He had to let it go.
I'd have been like this with my.
Yeah. I think all those players better learn how to have their mouthpiece so that they just bite down hard on that mouthpiece.
Look, my mama said, don't say nothing bad about nobody.
But guys, if you haven't seen it, it's worth seeing it just so you can have a reference to it when people talk about it, because it's going to be talked about for a long time. That was bad. All right, let's talk about the game itself. Sfth is the winner, MVP, 16 3-pointers, 50 points. Does that really mean anything? Because, I mean, a lot of the points he shot were just uncontested. I mean, most shots in the game are uncontested.
Look, uncontested, but the degree of difficulty.
I agree with you there now. Because he shot some from 10 feet behind the 3-point line.
Because I tell you one thing, after he made his 8th one, everybody was in his face. Oh, no, I'm done with you. He's running around like, okay.
Yeah. I mean, it was insane, some of the shots he made. I'll give you that. I don't like it because, like I said, the score is 189 to 183. I mean, the score gets outrageous. And for a while, you just have fast break dunks and people just running down the floor, other people jogging, watching them run. It's bad. But like I said, it's an all-star game. I know it's supposed to be an exhibition and all that. I would like it better if they did like maybe Major League Baseball does, and the winner of that game gets home court. Of course, now they don't even do it by conferences anymore.
Right.
They do it with the draft, and KD picks who he wants, and LeBron picks who he wants, and neither one of them wanted Harden and all that stuff. But it is what it is. And then to end the game, of course, LeBron hits a three-pointer at the end of the game to win it in Cleveland. Last shot of the game over, no overtime, all that good stuff. So what do you think about all that, Irv?
And that shot came after Steph Curry missed 2 threes. So once Team Durant came down and made a shot to cut it to 1 point, LeBron was like, all right, it's time for me to go home now.
Yeah.
He called for the ball. But
exactly.
I think I had a little more fun with it than I think you did. It's supposed to be a showcase of the best talent.
Mm-hmm.
The bad part is it's gotten to the point where it's more of a showcase than a game. We always reference the past on everything, but we reference the past for a purpose. Making the game was the biggest thing for a lot of guys, but making the game and making sure nobody outplayed you was what made the game more enjoyable. Yes, the scores was 120, 130, but it wasn't 170.
Mm-hmm.
And the bad part is that's where the NBA game is right now. Like your best
if you watch a Golden State game, it's gonna be 120 minimum.
Coach, if you watch any game,
yeah,
like the best defensive team averages over 100 points a game defensively.
Yeah.
Me growing up, if you averaging over 100, giving up 100 points a game, you ain't got no defense.
Oh, I agree. You're right.
But it's a different mentality than how it used to be, and that's where everybody looks at me and like, oh man, you don't care. They just using all their energy on offense. Well, it's 2 sides to a basketball game,
mm-hmm.
and it's translating to the All-Star game. So now it's just a showcase of who can make the most baskets instead of an actual game.
Yeah.
But, I had fun with it. Once Curry was making them outrageous shots, I was just like, all right, where are you going to shoot from next?
Yeah, that's true. And don't get me wrong. Like I say, I've seen, numerous, commentary on it now and all that. And so I kind of shape my opinion from all the different things I hear and whatnot. But like I said, it was a good game. Real quick, we got 2 things to talk about. We're going to spend 2 minutes talking about each.
Okay.
Top 25. You got problems with it? You good with it?
I'm good with it. I'm good.
It's hard for me to believe David Robinson.
Why not?
Being number 25.
Why not?
I don't know, man. I mean, when I think of the greatest basketball players of all time, and you would tell me Dave Robinson would be number 25, and I'd be like, damn.
Don't sleep on David Robinson now.
I know, no, I'm not sleeping on him. My point is that I think he'd be higher up the list. I mean, I'm sitting up here like, was it really 24 people better than David Robinson? I mean, that's my argument. My argument is that way because, I think a lot of times, like, I had to bite down real hard with Wilt being number 5 or number 6 or whatever. He was 5 or 6 or something.
Yeah.
And, only man to ever score 100 points in a game, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then, to see him, I think Jordan was 1, LeBron was 2, Kareem was 3. And I bit down, so okay, I'm gonna ride with that. Okay, I'm good with that. And then when they had Wilt at 4, I think Russell was 4 and Wilt was 5, if I'm not mistaken. And I was just like, okay. But then, of course, they got Jerry West up in there, and they got some of those kind of guys in there. And then I'm seeing Robinson at 25. Like, man.
That's a tough list.
Even Kobe. I think Kobe was at number 10.
Kobe was 10.
Yeah.
But that's a tough list, though.
Oh, I'm sorry. Magic 5, Wilt 6, Travis said.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's a tough list, man.
Oh, it's a tough list. I'm just saying that, because you start reading and, you just start looking at pictures and reading names. You're like, okay, I know they're going to put Jerry West up in there somewhere. I'll tell you who I'm surprised they didn't put up there was Bill, what's his name, the white guy, Walton. I'm surprised they didn't put, because everybody listen, they always blowing up Bill Walton like he was the best thing since sliced bread back in the day. And I just knew they was going to have him in there somewhere because they need to represent the big guys. And I thought he was going to be a representative of the big guys. So I'm glad he didn't make top 25.
shouldn't be in the 75. But that's a whole nother scale.
Well, and I would agree with you, but I don't think the NBA would agree with you. I think if they put out a top 75, you'd be surprised. I bet his ass would make
Yeah.
So, but anyway, I just and they had KD in there. KD was in there somewhere around 16, 18, somewhere in that area. And I was like, okay, you got David Robinson at 25 and KD at 18. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. I mean, I just was like, that's me. This is me talking. I was real skeptical about some of those choices. If you go, I would ask the listeners, Matt, especially you, Ray, you guys, go out there, look at the list, come back to me next week and tell me if you had any problems with it. I didn't. Yeah, that's what I said. Kobe at 10. I was hurt to see that. I mean, to be honest with you. And I wasn't even a big Kobe fan back then. Tim Duncan's in there. Yeah, Duncan's around. Duncan's probably around 12 or something like that.
Yeah,
he's in the 10 through 15. He might even be in the 6 through 10. But he's up there somewhere. But they got Robinson I felt like way too far down in my opinion. And don't ask me where he needs to go. When I saw, you kind of always want to see, I wonder who the last one going to be. And I said, David Robinson. I was like, what?
Yeah, that's tough, man. Like, for me personally, I hate lists. Why can't they just be the best of what they did? And
yeah, Ray, he is higher. He's higher than Robinson. He said Tim Duncan got to be higher than Robinson.
Yeah.
But David Robinson, like Matt said, I felt like he did kind of revolutionize the game. I mean, he was that big guy, and he played great defense. And don't get me wrong, I know you had a lot of guys like Russell who played great defense and stuff, but still, and Kareem never played no defense. But
and Robinson got a scoring title.
I know, but that's what I'm saying is that's why it was so difficult for me. And I was a big Robinson fan too, by the way.
Me too.
He was one of the main guys had me thinking about going to the Naval Academy. But anyway, I don't know. It bothered me a little bit to see Robinson where he was. Real quick, and we're gonna finish with this. Everybody saw the melee that took place with Michigan, Wisconsin. At the end of the day, Juwan Howard, head basketball coach, got suspended. They only suspended him for 5 games. Irv, what's your take on that?
I thought it was going to be the entire season. I know what the situation was. The guy called timeout because they was about to get a 10-second call in the backcourt. He's still coaching his team. You don't finish coaching your team till that referee blows that whistle.
Amen.
I tell everybody all the time, unless I tell you not to do anything, keep playing. I don't care what the score is.
I agree.
The coach did what he was supposed to do. Now, for Juwan Howard to get upset because he's still pressing down, that's on him. That's nothing to do with me as a coach. If you don't want to say, so the Wisconsin coach was upset because he was going to physically just walk past him.
Mm-hmm.
So he got in front of him, and Juwan got upset and grabbed him.
Mm-hmm.
That's when everything started sparking off. But more audio was coming out. But for Juwan Howard, you cannot get upset with that. The game's over.
I agree.
So I think 5 games is a little too little. I think it should have been up past the tournament.
I do too. I mean, I honestly believe that it should have been more than 5 games. I mean, they say I think there's only 5 games left in the season though.
Yeah.
So they say, but I felt like it should have been the postseason too, in my opinion. If you decide you're going to do it for the rest of the season, do it for the whole season, postseason, everything.
Yes.
In my opinion, I didn't think that 5 games was enough, and I don't think he had any right to do what he did. I mean, I wish somebody would tell me how to run my team or tell me when I can't call timeout. I might be trying to call timeout because I want to put this kid in here who granddaddy just passed away, and he's the worst player on our team, and I want to get him at least some playtime tonight. You don't tell me what to do.
Yeah.
You don't know what's going on my team.
Right.
So you let me run my team. You worry about your team that I'm stomping a mud hole in anyway. Your ass should have been worrying about that. Worry about winning this damn game. That's what you need to worry about instead of trying to worry about saving face.
Real quick, 5 games. I thought that was going to be the bare minimum that he was going to get. That's the regular season. I agree with you, Irv. I think they just sort of said you're done for the rest of the season. Big Ten tournament, NCAA tournament if they make it, because they're on the bubble anyway, right. Or NIT. I think they should have just said you're done for the rest of the year and you don't get to coach till next November. I was surprised actually that the head coach for Wisconsin, Greg Gard, did not get a 1-game suspension. I thought he was going to get a 1-game suspension for what he did, and for what, if people don't really sure what he did when he, when they're doing the handshake. Jawan definitely first of all, he definitely didn't want to do the handshake, but he did it anyway, and he was trying to get in and out of there, right? Quick handshake, let me get going. And Gard grabs him like this on his elbow, on the inside of his elbow, and holds him there to say something. You don't need to be grabbing someone. You don't need to be grabbing a grown man to be. I'm with you. I'm not excusing Juwan Howard's actions. I'm not. But for Wisconsin's coach to be doing that, he didn't need to be doing that either. I thought he should have gotten a 1-game suspension. Just be like, yo, you don't need to be grabbing people.
Let me say this real quick.
I was surprised he didn't get suspended. That's the only other thing I wish would have happened.
Let me say this real quick, because there was a lot of talk about this, about doing away with the handshake line. I've never heard of a more coward comment in my life. I mean, I've been on both ends of an ass whipping. I've whipped ass and I've gotten my ass whipped many times as a coach. I always walk across the field in the handshake line, shake the hands of the coaches, and I start off with, good game, coach. Good luck to y'all.
Yep.
To everybody. Now, if it's another buddy of mine or whatever, we embrace and hug, whatnot, we talk some more. But my standard thing is, good luck, coach. Good luck to y'all. That's all you have to say.
Yep.
Shake the man's hand, look him in his eye, and you can be thinking the whole time while you talking, I can't stand this duck plucker, and if I ever get a chance to get hold of his ass again, I'm going to beat his ass to a pulp the next time I see him. But you suck it up, be a grown-ass man, and go across there and show your kids that you have enough sportsmanship in you to shake that man's hand, tell him good game, wish him good luck, and move on.
Yep.
And I think it's terrible that they're even thinking about doing away with the handshake line. Yes. I mean, that's all. We do it in youth sports.
I do.
I'm the president of Gwinnett Football League. We've been doing it for years. Our former president, Gary Dasher, if he didn't teach me nothing else, we're going to do that handshake every game. I don't give a damn. I'm just telling you.
And
that's terrible.
I'm hearing, oh, well, they shouldn't do the handshake line because of COVID. That's if you're worried about that, then they shouldn't be playing on the field, period, because the 1 second that they're walking past each other, shaking their hands, is nothing nearly compared to the entire time that they're out playing basketball or baseball or football or whatever sport it is that they're doing.
And they're out there in them trenches breathing all on each other and talking about each other's mamas and everything out there.
And that's
anybody trying to hear that.
And that's crazy because.
But I'm just saying, I've heard that. I've heard that in the last 2 days. Oh, well, now with COVID, they shouldn't be shaking hands. That's terrible. That's terrible.
We actually had to wait 3 weeks before we could start doing handshakes with everybody after our COVID scare. But I was like, all right, if we just got to agree with that, whatever, we're still playing. As long as we, after the game, can just say, good game from afar, cool.
Yeah.
But they literally told us for 3 weeks we couldn't do the walk for a while.
I know. Here's my thing, Irv. These are grown-ass men. I mean, they're college. You ain't getting more grown than where you are now. You think you're grown there damn way. You doing everything that a grown man shouldn't be doing anyway, your ass out doing it. And now you don't want to shake hands after the game because you're afraid that it might turn into a fight. I wish I could be the commissioner of the league. Put me ahead of the NCAA for a day. I mean, you want to talk about changing some things? I'll be like, dude, your ass will be arrested and suspended for life if you damn touch somebody going through that damn handshake line. I mean, how big of a coward are you that you've been playing this team for an hour out here on this floor? That's just on the clock an hour. All total time, 2 hours you've been running up and down the floor. And now you're going to wait till after the game to hit this man in his face or hit this man in his chest walking through the handshake line? Coward. I mean, straight coward. And that's what I would say to the coaches too. Because the bottom line is that both of y'all in the Big Ten, are you going anywhere? Because his ass ain't going nowhere either. You'll see this man for many more times. And you'll have your opportunity to see him many times. Or guess what? I'm pretty sure you got his phone number. Or your sports information director can get his phone number. Call him and cuss him out. But don't sit up here on damn TV and be swinging and winging it and all that. That's terrible. And it's disgusting to me. And for him to only get 5 games for that, listen, I'm a bigger disciplinarian than that. I can't. And I like Juwan Howard. I love him as a basketball coach and the way he represents the university until now. I mean, when he did that the other day, I lost a lot of respect for him. But even if the man did grab him, I understand the man grabbed him and whatnot. But, dude, be bigger than that. And you know what? Just like I said, call him. Hey, man, I just want to tell you, listen, I know we playing basketball and all that. You ever touch me again, I'll kill you. You know what I mean? That's all. I mean, you ain't got to demonstrate it on TV. All you got to do is just tell it. I'm just telling you. I mean, you know, everything. Just let you know. If you ever touch me again, I might not do nothing about it on that basketball court. I'm waiting outside by your bus, and I'm going to break you off. That's all you got to do. So anyway, that's me. Hey, Miss Hood, how you doing? You have a great week too, baby. Matthew Cowlett said he might call you. He got a daughter in town that's 10 years old looking for a playmate. So I know you know a lot of little girls that you teach and whatnot. So anyway, folks, we got to get out of here. We appreciate everybody for tuning in today. Had some great discussion. Tom, as usual, is off the chain. Ray, we appreciate you for being here. Matt, as always, Mr. Butler, as always. Tom was off the chain today. I don't know what's going on with Tom. Tom might have been. I know they said they're getting ready to have legalize some medicinal marijuana. Tom might be trying to get ahead of the curve a little bit on that right there. Anyway, Miss Hood, as always, we appreciate you for being here. Folks, we'll see y'all next week. Good night, Miss Francis.
Straight from the hip.
All right, Irv, good having you back, man.